want to talk really quick about the shooting in California. Being that I'm from California, I can tell you that the story is bullshit the way they're reading it out. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying the way they're playing it out is bullshit. Because the town that I came from, there were shootings every day, and generally it was, handguns and some fully automatic weapons. Because basically there's a lot of gang wars out there in California. So most of the deaths out there are from gangs and guns that are illegal anyways. But when I was watching the news, they were talking about his arsenal. Now everybody's pretty outraged about this because he didn't really have an arsenal. He had to be what was one AR-15, which happens to be semi-automatic, and then he had a old revolver. It looked like a Rough Rider. I'm gonna say it might be a Rough Rider. So it's a single shot 44, I'm guessing. But the way they were painting the picture out to be like he had this arsenal and it's a mass shooting. 4 people died, which I'm not saying, I don't think that's a mass shooting. I think he went and he killed a couple people, and it's sad and it's tragic, and it shouldn't have happened. It was fucked up that he did that. But to label this as a mass shooting with some guy with an AR-15 is just justifying why they're banning everything. They're trying to justify their unconstitutional behaviors. California is no longer, in my opinion, a state of the United States. It's another country. It's completely ridiculous over there. There's no jobs. There's no rights. It's a horrible state to live in. That's why I moved out of it. I'm living in a state where I actually feel free, and I'm not worried about my guns being taken. In fact, on the news out here, you don't hear about all the negative. You hear about the negative, but you hear about the people that actually cause good with guns. There was a robbery that was foiled at a dollar store. It was a Dollar General. I believe it was 2 days ago, and it was 2 guys go in, and they had fake guns, but you couldn't really tell the difference because they were the airsoft guns, but they still had guns as far as everybody thought. There was somebody shopping, and they wound up shooting one of the robbers after, for some reason, he wouldn't drop his toy gun. I mean, you couldn't tell it was a toy gun though, but one of them dropped his gun, the other one didn't, and wound up getting shot by the guy that was shopping. He happened to have a concealed handgun license. The other one ran off and then was arrested. The one that was shot wound up dying. But apparently they've been robbing stores for a while now with these, fake airsoft guns. They took the orange tip off and it looked like a real gun. I mean, you can't really, in fact, they even got a moving slide on them, so some of them you can't tell the difference. A trained handgun owner might be able to tell the difference, but at distance and in the heat of the moment, maybe not. Some of them are very realistic. Some of them are heavy too. I've seen metal ones. I've had a metal one. So, at that time, you really don't know. So he should have just dropped it, but something happened. He wound up getting shot and killed. But, we also had a homeowner, I think it was out in Houston, that was put in a closet by two home invaders. And this was recent. I believe this was last month. And they've shoved him in the closet. Well, he kept his gun in the closet. He wound up shooting one of them, and the others got off. I believe they were arrested later. But, I hear all these stories about people defending themselves out here with firearms. I've had to pull my gun out before. I've had to. So I know what it's like. And the fact that people don't understand that, the police aren't always going to be there to defend you. You need to be able to protect yourself. Otherwise, you're just a sheep. And that's what California's turning into. It's a state full of sheep. It's sad. It's messed up that nobody out there is yelling and screaming about what California's doing. New York's the same way. And, the only ones that can fix it is Californians. They can fix their problem for them. New York can fix their problem for themselves. You know, Texas, we really are not following any federal laws at all. I can tell you that much right now. You know, Texas really, we follow the state laws, and the state pretty much ignores the federal laws for the most part. But yeah, that's what I got. I'm pretty disturbed by the way California painted that picture of that shooting. They're not even releasing what country the guy's from, but I could take a wild stab at it. There was something else that I saw on YouTube saying that Jews were behind gun control. Um, that's pretty racist. In fact, if you go to Israel, they're not pro gun control. In fact, they have guns in their schools. So before you post something like that, you need to research it because that's a pretty dangerous state and people are actually armed out there. Anyways, that's what I got.